Hello! So I recently hit 100% perfection in Stardew Valley. It was a hefty save file with about 350 hours put into it, and we finally hit perfection in summer of year 11. So it's been a goal that we've been working towards for a really long time. I did the whole thing on stream, so if you're interested in seeing it, as of now the VOD is still up. However, I will also be uploading an edited version of it to YouTube, and I'll put the link to that in the description as well. So yeah, feel free to go and check it out. It's very chaotic. Spoilers, obviously. But as a Stardew streamer, one of the main questions that I get is what am I gonna do now that I've hit perfection and I've beat the game? Which is a completely fair question, but the answer is I'm gonna play more Stardew. One of the things that I think makes Stardew Valley such a good game is that it really rewards late game players just as much as it rewards the early game players. Even when you get really far into the game, there's still so much stuff to do, so that even when you've technically beaten the game, there's actually still way more for you to do. But before I get into it, actually I need to point this out. This is not an issue with your screen, this is my camera. I'm really sorry. I have a dark spot, and unfortunately there's nothing I can do, save getting a new camera, which I mean I hope to do, I hope to upgrade it, but you know. So yeah, I'm sorry about that, and I hope it's not too distracting. But yeah, if you, like me, have hit the end of or are approaching the end of your Stardew Valley save file, or so it seems, don't worry, there's still a bunch of stuff that you can do. I made a whole list of the things that you can continue doing even after you hit perfection, so stick around and I will walk you through them. And when I said list, I meant list. Like, it's on my phone, I'm gonna have to check it because I don't remember. Alright, yes, I remember. Number 1, do all the things that weren't required for perfection. So the phrase 100% perfection actually is a little bit misleading. You don't need to have experienced or done every single thing in the game in order to achieve it, which is a blessing in some ways because there are some things in this game that I literally just cannot do for the life of me. One of the main things that people are doing right now is playing Junimo Kart and playing Journey of the Prairie King. So if you don't know, these are arcade games that you can find in the Stardrop Saloon. And they're kind of like little mini games within Stardew Valley. And they are beatable. Not that I've ever done it. I actually don't know who started it, but it's really common among Stardew streamers at the minute to play Junimo Kart and to try and beat Junimo Kart, especially once you've already got 100% perfection. Junimo Kart is so difficult, especially when you first start playing it and you have to get the hang of it and like get all the timing down. I couldn't do it. I've tried. I just embarrass myself. I truly do. But it's so easy to get hooked on, and so will give you like so many more hours in the game, and you get so much to do out of it. The same goes for Journey of the Prairie King. It's so difficult, and I'm not even saying this just to be like, haha, I'm bad at games. No, genuinely. Somebody came into my chat and said, oh man, I really hate the third world and Journey of the Prairie King. Third world? I wasn't aware it went on for more than 2 rounds. News to me. Anyway, there are a bunch of other things in the game to achieve, but actually don't count towards perfection, so you may well have hit perfection without doing these other things. I don't know where I got a pencil from. I also just kind of just realized that I'm holding it. I think I'm gonna continue holding it though. It's my emotional support pencil now. In the same vein, you need to make sure that you have your hearts on full with everybody in the town in order to get perfection, right? But even in doing that, there still might be things that you've missed, and these being heart events. You can gain hearts to your heart's content, but if you're not in the right place at the right time, the heart event won't trigger. Heart events, if you don't know, are just like the cutscenes that you see after you reach a certain heart level with a certain person. But for example, there was a heart event, I think it was Caroline's 2 heart event, that I didn't get until I was like already all the way friends with her. Because in order to trigger it, you had to walk into like the back room in her house, and I didn't know that back room existed. I thought the door was like decorative. And it was only after somebody in my chat pointed it out that I went in there and I got the heart event. So what you might need to do for this one is like you might need to pull up the Stardew wiki for a certain NPC, unless you're very determined, and then like go through their heart events, see if one of them like doesn't sound familiar, and if that's the case, look at the requirements, see if you can trigger it, and then yeah, watch it, enjoy. There are some heart events that expire. For example, I think there's like one of Sam's that you can only watch in year 1, but the rest of them should be good to watch like at any point in the game, even after you've beaten it. Number 2 sort of links into this. Look for secrets. Stardew Valley is packed so full of secrets. There are so many things in this game that I just wouldn't know about if it weren't for word of mouth. If it weren't for me like seeing other streamers do them, or somebody telling me about them, or for really nice people in my chat who like give me a nudge towards them without trying to be backseating. If that's you, I appreciate you, thank you. And similarly, I don't really want to tell you specifically what the secrets are because I kind of want this to be, you know, as spoiler free as possible as you can be when you're talking about the end of a game. But like, for example, do you have all of the statues? Have you met all of the creatures who dwell in the forest? That was ominous. Have you tried putting random items in random places to see what would happen? Have you tried putting hats on everything? Have you tried running up against walls and seeing if you discover something new? Honestly, some of those could lead you on a wild goose chase, but you get the idea. There's so much left to do. And I think it's one of the things that really makes Stardew Valley what it is. There's a lot of games out there that are similar, but I've never played one that has so many little secrets. To the point at which actually the creator has said that there are some secrets that haven't been discovered yet, or at least I haven't seen anybody talking about them. That could be a goal. If you're ambitious, you could try and uncover a secret that nobody else has done in the game before. That'd be a cool thing to be able to say. Those are made for some of my favorite moments while playing, like when I discover a little secret. Whether it was completely by accident or whether I went looking for it, it's so rewarding. So very definitely worth doing. Number 3. Date everyone. Think about it. You've just had this really, really cute cutscene with your spouse after you hit perfection. You were sat on this, you know, idyllic cliff, talk about the last however many years, how far you've come, all the things you've achieved, all the things that you've seen. Now cheat on them a bunch. Or headcanon that you had a healthy conversation about opening your relationship. Whatever works. Yeah, this sounds like a joke, but genuinely, if you romance people in the game, right, you get extra heart events, you get extra dialogue, you get so much more content. And not only that, but you get a new goal as well, because obviously you need to gift these people in order to get your heart events up, right? So while I'm married to Shane, I know, I actually also am technically dating Leah because I really wanted her final cutscene where you get to deck her ex in the face. It's so satisfying, would recommend, by the way. Also spoilers. So not only does it give you new goals and something to do, but you also get rewards for those goals. So it kind of ticks every box. So make sure you carry a rabbit's foot. And yeah, give the flower bouquet to everybody in Pelican Town. Literally and figuratively, if you would like to. No judgments here, no judgments here. Number 4, and if you know me and you know my Stardew streams, you'll probably have been expecting this one. Decorate. Since the 1.5 update, we can now place furniture outside, which means that you can decorate areas so much. And yes, obviously starting with your house and starting with your farm, but thanks to this update, you can now decorate pretty much anywhere on the map. The only thing you really need to be careful of is not putting things in the path of NPCs, because if they need to walk past there, they will just walk through it, and in doing so will like rip up the item and you'll lose it. I've actually seen people put like chests in the paths of NPCs which have like loads of valuable items in them, and then the NPCs have just walked through them and destroyed it and they've lost all of it. So yeah, don't do that. But you can actually find maps online that shows you where everybody walks, so you know the safe places to like put down chests or furniture or plants and things like that. For me, one of the main reasons I'm going to continue streaming that 100%ed save file is because I've made a goal for myself, and that is to decorate the entirety of the Pelican Town and Ginger Island maps. There's just so much potential. So many of the areas on the map are just these big open spaces. The beach, the museum, the entrance to the mines, the desert, up in the mountains. There's genuinely like so much potential, and I'm really excited about hitting that as my secondary goal in Stardew. It's a nice relaxing thing to do, and it also takes up a lot of time. You can look at a small space and be like, I can do that in 20 minutes. No, you won't. You'll be there for hours. And you'll be happy about it. It's so rewarding. And it also works really, really well to balance out some other late game stuff as well. So say, for example, that you do decide that you want to beat Junimo kart. Eventually, you're going to start feeling burnt out on it, right? So when you do, instead of powering through and making yourself hate the minigame, you go and do some decorating instead. And vice versa. You get to go decorating, you go date somebody. So you can see like all these things blended together actually make like a whole bunch of new content for the game and a whole bunch of new things for you to do. Decorating is also really cool because it's a way to like customize your game and really make it your own and make it unique to you as well. And you can add in like your own little things about the characters as well. So like for example, outside of Linus's tent, I put a whole bunch of beehives, and like in my head he does beekeeping, and like it probably sounds so pathetic, but like it's nice to think about. So yeah, would absolutely recommend trying decorating at least. Number 5, and this is kind of a wordy one, but stick with me. Do the thing you wanted to do to your farm but couldn't because it wasn't cost effective. When you're working towards 100%, or generally just whenever you're working to any goal in the game, it's always money oriented, right? So like you have to keep being able to buy seeds, or maybe you're saving up for the golden clock, or maybe you need to upgrade some buildings. Always comes back to money, right? But once you hit that perfection goal, money isn't as important anymore. You've been freed. You don't necessarily need to keep up with all of your farming stuff, and constantly having to be making money just doesn't weigh on you as much anymore. Obviously you still can if you want to, and if that's something that you really enjoy doing, but you don't have to, is the point. So whereas before you were always having to be conscious of dividing your farm up into making space for crops, for animals, for machines, for sheds, for all of that stuff, it's not so much of an issue anymore. And particularly if you used a farm that wasn't the standard farm, space can be really, really limited. So you might have struggled to fit everything in and had to sacrifice some of the things that you wanted for things that you needed. So now's your chance. Do whatever you wanted to do with your farm but you couldn't before. You want to make an entire farm of ostriches? Do it. You want to make like a really pretty meadow of wildflowers? Do it. You want to demolish your old slime hutch and build a Wumba shrine instead? Which I did. Do it. You want to tear everything out and start again? You want to just make a farm full of sheds and have the contents of each one be more cursed than the last? Do it. And show me, because that sounds really cool. Truly the world is your oyster and you can do anything you want. In fact, you could do that and still make money because you can place kegs and things all over the world, right? So yeah, you've been given this opportunity to have so much freedom in your game when you don't need to worry about the, you know, overall goal. And at this point in the game, you probably really do not need to worry about money. You have the freedom to make it as chaotic as you truly want to. And that's about it, really. So yeah, those are my 5 main things to do in Stardew Valley after you hit 100% perfection. As you can see, they kind of like weave into one another, but that's good because it kind of like all mixes together and makes for this really cool dose of extra content post-game. If some of the stuff that I said did appeal to you and there's things that you plan on doing, or if you have your own ideas about what you're gonna do, let me know. I'd love to read about it, so please, yeah, leave me a comment. Or even if you're just starting Stardew Valley for the first time and you're already just thinking way ahead. As I've already mentioned, if you haven't come here from Twitch already, I'm a Twitch streamer. I stream Stardew Valley as my main game. I'm a variety streamer, but Stardew Valley is my main game. If you'd like to catch a stream, you can find me at twitch.tv/korok_leafs. I'll post a link to that in the description as well. So yeah, thank you so much for checking this out. I hope it's helped. But yeah, you know the drill. If you like what you found here, please do hit the subscribe button and like as well. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, generally just in conclusion, Stardew Valley is a wonderful game. It is so much bigger than it appears, and there is always something to do. You just gotta find it, or make it yourself. Thank you so much for watching, stay safe, happy Stardewing, and goodbye!